Good morning, everybody. I'm Brian Fisher, Manager of Media Relations for the Prince George's County Police Department. I'd like to welcome you all to our press room today. I'm joined by our County Executive, Acting County Executive, Tara Jackson. I'm joined by our Chief of Police, Malik Aziz, and Acting CAO and DCAO, Barry Stanton. Today, we're going to be providing information about the Department's Summer Crime Initiative, as well as some breaking news we know you will all want to find out. So first, I'd like to bring up our Chief of Police, Malik Aziz.
Good. All right. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us here at Prince George's County Police Headquarters. And thank you to our Acting County Executive, Ms. Tara Jackson, for her steadfast leadership of the county and her unwavering support for Prince George's County Police Department and public safety. Also, thanks to Acting Chief Administrative Officer, Mr. Barry Stanton, for your leadership and your dedication to public safety. We're here to speak on crime statistics, breaking news, and a high-level overview of the 2025 Summer Crime Initiative. I would also like to extend my appreciation to the Executive Command Team, which you see behind me, for their exemplary leadership of the men and women who are doing an outstanding job and facing great challenges here in Prince George's County. The Summer Crime Initiative is a proactive effort designed to ensure the safety and well-being of our residents and business. Unfortunately, as the school year ends, summer crime tends to rise historically. That is why we continue to take a comprehensive approach to addressing these challenges head on. Our Summer Crime Initiative is built upon the pillars of crime prevention, community engagement, collaboration with our public safety partners, and a focused enforcement. As you will see, crime is trending down. By employing focused crime strategies and deploying resources strategically to hotspots in what is otherwise very good areas in our county. And we utilize the data-driven approaches to ensure that we are focused on the areas where we are needed most. This summer, our Community First team are focused on youth programs at the Police Athletic Activities League, the cadets, the explorers who engage our young people in camps and other activities that will challenge them and at the same time be fun. We will have mentorship programs that will steer them away from negative activities, providing positive outcomes. I would also acknowledge our local media. You are here today. Thank you for the significant role you play disseminating information, allowing our residents to stay informed and aware of crime trends, scams, and our august community policing efforts. This allows all of us to be better in the place that we live, work, or entertain, and where our children play. But I especially want to thank you for your coverage, bringing the ills of domestic violence to the forefront. And usually my media relations teams breaks the stories, but I would like to break a story for you now. The Prince George's County Police Department's Homicide Unit arrested and charged a man in connection with a recent fatal shooting in Lanham. The suspect is 25-year-old Keon Adams of Lanham, and he's charged with murder of 33-year-old Cameron Smith of Lanham. On May 19, 2025, at approximately 8:20 p.m., officers responded to the 9300 block of Lanham Severn Road for the report of a shooting. Officers located Smith suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. The victim was transported to a hospital where he died a short time later. A second victim was also shot. His injuries are not considered life-threatening. Through various investigative techniques, detectives identified Adams as the suspect. The preliminary investigation revealed that the suspect shot the victim over a dispute. Adams is charged with a first-degree murder and related charges. He's in the custody of the Prince George's County Department of Corrections on a no-bond status. I would also like to address the double fatal shooting homicide we had last night. The Prince George's County Police Department's homicide unit obtained an arrest warrant in connection with a double fatal shooting in Fort Washington on Tuesday night. The suspect is currently in Washington, D.C., pending extradition to Prince George's County. He is 27-year-old Dewan Goddard of Fort Washington. He's charged with fatally shooting two teenagers. They are 16-year-old Thomas Smith Jr. of Washington, D.C., and 16-year-old Michael Bassett of Temple Hills. On May 27, 2025, at approximately 9:35 p.m., PGPD officers were in the area of the 5500 block of Harris Place when they heard the sound of gunshots. The officers canvassed the area and located two victims outside of an apartment building in the 5200 block of Harris Place. Smith was pronounced dead on the scene. Bassett died a short time later at the hospital. A third teenager who was with the victims was also shot, but was not struck. Responding officers observed the SUV suspected to be involved in the shooting, fleeing the scene and attempting a traffic stop. The driver refused to stop. Officers pursued the SUV into Washington, D.C., where he was taken into custody. The preliminary investigation revealed the suspect shot the victims during a potential illegal drug deal. The victims arrived to the scene in a vehicle that had been carjacked on St. Barnabas Road and Oxon Hill on May 23, 2025. Multiple firearms were recovered at the scene. Goddard is charged with first and second degree murder and related charges. Anyone with information on this case or any other homicide case, please contact the detectives at 301-516-2512 or go on Crime Solvers online, pgcrimesolvers.com, or on your apps, P3 Tips, and you may give us anything on anonymous tips. With that said, I'll move into the 2025 Crime Progress Report and the Summer Crime Initiatives. Thank you. 2025 Progress Report, and I'll go through these pretty rapidly here. Next slide. The 2024 total crimes, as a reminder, property crimes were down -1%. Property crimes -11%, and violent crimes were down -2%, for total crimes being down -9%. We finished the year in 2024 with all crimes down, as you can see from those numbers. Next, the 2025 year-to-date crime statistics. Next, total crimes are down 16%. Total crimes in 2025 so far, this year in 2025, we're down 16% in total crimes against 2024. Property crimes, next, down 13% from 2024. So property crimes are down. Total crimes, property crimes. Violent crimes, down 27%. 27% from last year, violent crimes. So that's total, property, and violent crimes are all trending down in those percentages. We're moving to a few categories. Assaults, down 12% from last year. Non-fatal shootings, down 16% from last year. Assaults with other weapons, down 23%. Assault with no weapon, this includes fights, pushes, grabs, spitting, threats, anything with no weapon, down 6%. Moving into burglaries, our burglaries 2025 are down 16%. Our commercial burglaries are down 13%. Our residential burglaries down 16%. Other burglaries, anything outside of those two categories, down 80%. Moving into domestic violence, our domestic violence is fighting between current and former partners, down 23%. The next slide, domestic violence non-fatal shootings is up 25%. The number we had in 2024 was 4 domestic violence non-fatal shootings. In 2025, we had 5. So we've had an increase of 1 this year. Domestic violence, assaults, other weapons, down 26%. Domestic violence, assaults, no weapons, down 23%. Homicides. We've had 9 domestic-related homicides this year. We routinely investigate homicides from other municipalities in Prince George's County, but those homicides are down 36%. For larceny or theft, down 6%. Thefts from auto, down 6%. Stolen vehicles, down 23%. And it should be noted that the other categories from Kia and Hyundai, while we seen a spike last year, that we experienced in a trending down started last year, it's continued this year to be on the decrease. Other thefts, down 5%. Robbery, down 50%. Commercial robberies, down 63%. And I know that's been of great interest to our businesses in Prince George's County who often call in and concerned about the commercial robberies. And so that is a number and it's trending in a very great direction to be down 63%. Residential robberies are flat at 0%. And it's been 10 of those. So it's 10-10 for the year. Citizen robberies, down 44%. Carjackings, down 54%. Sex offenses are down 25%. Rape, 26%. Funneling, 24%. And I included a slide on hate and bias to show you where we are. It's been of particular concern here in the last, or this year, or so to say, and late last year. As you can see, we've had against 2024 and what the increases are and the number total in 2 years, we've had 15. But this year, you see the total that we've had are 6 hate bias incidents that we've been able to identify. We're moving to the Summer Crime Initiative to give you the high-level overview of the Summer Crime Initiative. The initiative will begin on Monday, June 12th, 2025, and run through Sunday, August 30th, 2025. Crime stats for the summer 2023 and 2024 to date, 2025, were applied against the targeted area action grids, in which we call tags or hexagons, to identify the areas with a higher than average number of incidents per crime. In 2025, the Joint Analysis Intelligence Unit, the JAIC, developed the tags, last year, I should say, and developed the tags to reduce crime in specific areas. The tags are specifically targeted to a small area in order to give us the better chance to reduce crime. What we found is that crimes generally take place in small pockets. So we may have a very good area, but a small pocket of crime that needs addressing and not the entire area. So we're very careful to have focused deployment of resources to drive down those crimes. We have 1,588 distinct hexagons with a diameter of 1,000 square meters. I'll show you an example if it would make sense on the next slide. If you look up there, it looks like a honeycomb, and these are hexagons, and they're overlaid in our county. And we look at these hexagons and we identify, out of those 1,588 that I mentioned, we identify the top 25. The top 25 hexagons is then where we deploy and we focus our police or our resources to drive down those crimes, work with the community leaders, work with the businesses, and engage with all public safety partners across the region in order for us to drive down crime. Next slide, please. That is some of the focus areas we had. This is not all inclusive of the areas that we will be focused on summer crime in our areas, but just a few of them up there you can see. For each grid, the grid is the hexagon that I mentioned. So we're focused on this individual grid that may be surrounded by a very, very good area, or these numbers just may escalate in violent crime, property crime, or just total crime, period. So we want to make sure that we drive down any one of those categories in a way that we focus on persons, places, and behaviors in order to address it. And some of our crime reduction techniques from overtime initiatives. We'll be working, I won't read through all of this, but we have some grants. We have traffic enforcement and safety team will be out with supplementing patrol. We'll be focusing our overtime, not just putting some blanket over the county, but it'll be focused overtime. And we've added a robust bike patrol to start our newly implemented bike patrol unit and team who will be traversing the county on bicycles, addressing some of the crime issues that they can from where they see. They're very effective too. Next, patrol redeployment under crime reduction. We started a redeployment program last year that everyone outside of patrol would go back to patrol for a period of 2 weeks. And this redeployment has been coordinated to minimize the disruption in ongoing investigations while optimizing resource utilization. Redeployment days in a combination of efforts for highest call volume, highest days, what we are addressing from car meetups to large party to any critical incidents Wednesday through Saturday, where we find we can actually get the biggest return for what we're investing from our officers who are doing really great and phenomenal work in the bureaus outside of patrol. Next, we implemented the National Harbor Juvenile Curfew a couple of years ago, as many of you know, and we've had to test that a few times. The National Harbor, one of the places that we have a very direct intention to make sure that the business atmosphere, the residential atmosphere is not disturbed in a way that it produces a negative outcome. So we implemented those curfew hours. Our school resource officers during the summer, a lot of them, don't get a break until the summer, but they've been redeployed to the National Harbor, a few other locations, but mainly the National Harbor to address some of the issues we have with the juvenile curfew. I think that on a couple of times so far this year, that's been tested, and we were able to mitigate that response in a very positive way from the information that we received from the residential clientele and the business clientele in National Harbor. We've gotten positive feedback from them in the way we handle it without being consumed with complaints. The community engagement aspect, a few of these Office of Community First, which is focused, Community First Division, been focused on some accounts with camps, which I mentioned earlier, mentoring and leadership programs. We are very integrated into and involved in the Special Olympics on all aspects. We've been doing park, walk, and talks coupled with the community policing engagement efforts and enforcement. We have participated and will continue to do these food distributions, clothing drives, the ice cream meetups with the chief, community cleanups, and we'll have National Night Out occur during this summer crime plan. The communication for the media, we've placed a lot of things on our social media, but we have seen an uptick in crime solvers, and we think that is a result of our media relations team division putting out information, and our crime solvers from major crime units have indicated that we have more people, more of our community personnel actually giving us tips and being involved in the process, which is what we have. We are a singular police force, but we are not alone. There are more eyes and ears to the people in our county, the residents in our county who live here, who give us information that has been very good for us. And we appreciate that thriving relationship. And it's been particularly noted by investigative units. Before I take questions, I'm going to call up our acting executive, Ms. Tara Jackson, and have her give you some brief, remarks before we move into some questions. Ms. Jackson.
Good morning. I want to start by thanking, of course, the good men and women of the Prince George's County Police Department for their hard work on crime. They have done a tremendous job serving the residents of this county, and I, for one, am very proud of them. And you see them represented by our command staff behind us. And certainly a special thank you to Chief Aziz for his leadership of this department. And as has already been mentioned, thank you to our acting Chief Administrative Officer, Barry Stanton. I also do want to take the time to thank the State's Attorney, Brayboy, in her absence, for the work that she's done on behalf of the residents of Prince George's County. The police arrest, but the State's Attorney's office is tasked with seeking justice and doing the right thing in the court system, getting the right results out of the court system. And thus, maximum results for crime fighting can only be achieved through collaboration and partnership with the police department and the State's Attorney's office. Of course, when we plan to get together this morning and talk about our summer crime initiative, we did not know that 2 teenagers would be killed the night before. And regardless of the circumstances, as you heard, we're still investigating. The loss of 2 young lives is devastating news for the families, for the friends, and frankly, for our whole community. Too many in our community are dying prematurely, and many of those deaths could have been prevented. And though this case is still being investigated, we do know that our victims were riding around in a carjacked vehicle on a school night. And the question is, why? Look, we don't just set curfews and put arbitrary rules in place so that our children will be miserable. We do it to keep them safe, and we have found that it works. I don't yet know the specifics of the homicides last night, but I do want to take this opportunity to stress to our community, to Prince Georgians, that we need you to continue to partner with us in keeping our children, your children, safe. Do your best to know where your young people are, where young people that you love are, and what they are doing. Kids end up dead over stupid stuff. And we don't know at all times. We do know that some of the times children will break the rules. But please, again, do your very best to partner with us to keep them safe by talking to them about risks, asking them where they are going and what they are doing when they get there, and looking maybe even at their social media. The homicides of young people reinforce our commitment to public safety. Tragedies like these are why we work so hard, why this department works so hard in the county to give our young people opportunities in addition to stopping violent crime. Even despite last night's events, I'm thrilled that overall crime in the county is down. And I'm so proud of the work that the police department and the community are doing together. In fact, I should start by highlighting, and I think the chief said it, that a suspect was arrested very shortly after the incident from last night. And that's just a snapshot of the work that this department does every day. He talked about homicides being down 38%, carjackings down 56%. It wasn't too long ago that the police department was before you talking about the problems of carjackings. And they're still there, but they're down. I love to hear that number, down, down, down. And these aren't random improvements. We focused our efforts to help reduce crimes and have been targeted in certain communities, and our deliberate strategic investments that we've made since day one are paying off. We're building the foundation for this success from the beginning. And from the county's perspective, investing in our police, in technology, in our partnership, and in our communities. Even now, in one of the most difficult budget environments we've seen in years, just a difficult environment altogether, we have preserved public safety funding, roughly 20% of our operating budget, and that's been the case for quite a few years now. And not just public funding safety, but funding, as I said before, that supports opportunities for our young people, like the Summer Youth Enrichment Program and the Police Explorers Program that we've already talked about, the Police Athletic League. This hasn't been easy. It is a stress on the budget, but it is worth it. It's clear that our investments are paying off. You've just heard Chief Aziz dive into the annual Summer Crime Initiative that includes strategic redeployment of officers, stepped up foot patrols in key corridors, and smarter use of real crime data through our real-time crime center. We're setting ourselves up so that we can respond even faster and, more important, to prevent the need to respond. But as I discussed earlier, we need the community's continued partnership. We know the summer brings unique challenges. Kids want to be out in the streets. Frankly, lots of people want to be out. So we're not just increasing enforcement, but we're increasing engagement with the community as well. Public safety doesn't start with a patrol car, and it doesn't end there either. We're hosting more town halls, more public safety walks, more community events in general than ever before. We're trying to build trust with our community, keep the trust that we built, and we're staying visible. And we're continuing, thankfully, to train new officers, adding personnel to our police department, helping to meet the needs of this county, and working to address a shortage of officers with incentives that bring promising recruits to the ranks of our department. And while we celebrate our progress, we do need to be honest and about the ongoing work. Theft from autos still remains a concern, and we're launching new public awareness campaigns to help our residents partner with us to keep their property safe as well. We're also expanding our traffic enforcement, as you heard the chief talk about, especially in high accident areas where we've seen too many lives disrupted by reckless driving. Another key part of keeping our neighborhoods safe this summer. And I want to end by being absolutely clear. Our results are not luck. Total crime down 16%, 63% down in commercial robberies. They are a product of strategy, investment, and follow-through by the men and women of this department, by this county government, even in a year of so much uncertainty. We're proud of what's working, and we know that we're not done. When I took over as acting chief administrative officer, acting county executive, when I took over as acting county executive on December the 3rd, I believe it was, I said that I wanted to make sure that this government remained stable during my time in this office. And I believe that the work that the Prince George's County Police Department has done over the last 6 months, but certainly over the last several years, is evidence of the fact that we are able to maintain stability in this community, and better yet, we're able to improve. So thank you, and I know that we'll take any questions from you.
Yes, just had one question. Yesterday, DC Police Chief said some of they instituted a curfew. Some of the kids that they came across were from there. So, given the activity we've already seen in the DMV concerning juvenile violence, juvenile activity, do you anticipate seeing more activity this summer? So, why do you think these community engagement issues you're talking about would be enough to help, stem that increase in activity?
Yeah. You want to answer? Oh, go ahead.
I'll just start off by saying it's not unusual for children to travel between Virginia, Maryland, and DC looking for things to do. And so I know that our department understands that, in fact, many of our crimes happen on the borders of those communities. And so they've targeted those areas. But to your question about opportunities for young people, I'll let the chief speak about those specific opportunities.
Yeah, let me say a couple of things, because we get into quite a few things, but here is a real truth that is what our acting county executive said. Children travel, young people travel. They do not stay in Prince George's County. They go to DC, they go to Virginia. If they reported that, I have no reason to think that it's not true, because we've also gotten many kids from DC on this side, and we've gotten kids from Virginia, and we have sent kids, so to those places, equally, not a direct sent, but they travel and they go to these places, and they're young people, and they go out where young people hang, as many of us in this room have done when we were teenagers, except then there's a few of those kids who like to get into some trouble, do negative things, and it cast a very dark light on the not the hundreds of kids who just be there, but the 100,000, 150,000 kids who go out, young people who go out and do what they're supposed to do, just living their life. It's always important that I say that. The vast majority of young people are going out, just living their life, looking for a way in life, just trying to make it to the next level. And they have some great parenting, and they have great role models, and they're just being young people. And then there's this small group, and they don't number a whole lot. And then they go out and do the things that are negative, and they get all of the attention. That's what happens. But let me say, we in Prince George's County, and even for the region for that matter, but in Prince George's County, we have our Community First Division. They're putting out all kinds of youth programs for people to take advantage of. And we see the participation is here when it should be here. And then we have other people that we partner with, other departments or agencies that we partner with, from non-governmental organizations who are providing a robust and vibrant service, as the Maryland National Capital Parks and Planning, the Parks Department, who have summer programs, who are offering these things, our schools with Superintendent House, and the activities that he's doing in school year and out of school year to provide young people with an avenue to do those things. What we find is that our young people, the things that we offer, only a select group want to be entertained or partake in those. The others, they like to make their own way and do what they think is fun to them. And that right there poses a bigger question, not just for police or county government. It poses a question to our application in collaboration. How do we reach them? And the best way to reach young people is to ask them, how would you like to be reached? And not all of them are going to agree with that, but that's where we are with it. We'll take another question. Brad?
Speaking of young people who make a different decision, there was a crime spree earlier this month involving breaking into cars. 120 in one night, Laurel, Prince George, and so on and so forth. Chief Hamel at Laurel was at a press conference. They arrested a 16-year-old kid. Got him tied to 120 of them. Car keys stolen, all that stuff. DJS sent him right back home. Chief Hamel just had a press conference where he was blasting a broken system, saying this kid was held for 5 hours, and he's right back into the environment from whence he came. That continues to be a problem.
I'll take it, and you can after you.
Look, I don't know the specifics of that particular case, but I will tell you that all facets of our criminal justice system can do better. And DJS is one of those. I understand their mission is to rehabilitate young people. But from my perspective, rehabilitation involves accountability. And you've got to hold young people accountable first, to let them know that you're serious and you live in a society where you have rules. So again, I'm not going to speak to the specifics of that case, but I do believe that there's work that the Department of Juvenile Services can do across the board.
And let me add on this just 1 minute. And I was well aware that my partner, Chief Hamel, had a press briefing earlier to talk about this today. And we talk as I represent as the president of the Maryland Chiefs. And this happens all across Maryland, where chiefs and sheriffs are talking about the issues that's come before them. And I don't know if I use the term broken, but certainly it can use some fixing. And we have on multiple occasions, I have spoken with Dr. Schiraldi of DJS. Just yesterday, we were on a call, not with him, but some of his staff and connected staff to talk about what can we do, what resources can be obtained in the challenge of austerity in order to deliver the resources to young people. And it continues to be a problem in the way we are situated. What Ms. Jackson said, love and care and accountability go together. A system that is offset where you do nothing won't work, and a system that is heavy-handed won't work. And we've seen the result of both now. And it's time for all of us in the solution base, if we want a solution to this, is to come here in the middle in order to help children. If we say we're helping them, then we have to help them the right way. And sometimes that help comes when we have them in a static position in order for us to reach them, and we have to reach them. We will. Next question.
Sorry, it can be, it doesn't have to be now, but if someone can speak in Spanish later on, I don't know if anyone's available for us.
Okay.
I don't see Brian here, but
Okay. We'll make sure that happens for you.
Just a very quick technical question about the data that you provided. This is year-to-date 2024 compared to year-to-date 2025?
Yes, sir.
Increases? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And the data specifically, is all of that data from, are they incorporated towns within Prince George's County that have?
Yeah,
their own
we-
departments
what-
incorporated now?
Yeah, I don't report any municipalities' crime. Even though Prince George's County Police can traverse the county as we can have countywide jurisdiction. We have some very robust and vibrant municipalities, and I leave it to them to report their own crime, even though I may know it. But I can tell you this, crime is down, including those municipalities. All crime in Prince George's County is down. Let me, since you brought that up, I want to say thank you to our municipal partners and all other partners across our federal partners and our state partners, but specifically, we have a great relationship here in this county with our municipal police chiefs, and we work hand in hand. We meet once a month, and many of them are in this building for my crime meeting every Thursday at 9 a.m. They are here talking crime with us. So our relationship is one for the betterment of Prince George's County, and so that's where we are.
And then just on topic as well, just talking about the programs and all that you're doing, I understand, all the programming and everything that you're offering in Prince George's County. But at the same time, I'm hearing both of you all kind of talk about, how to reach this small percentage of kids that you were talking about. How do you right now? I mean, what is the strategy right now for after hours, late at night, just when we may see some of these issues pop up? I guess, what do you say to somebody who thinks there needs to be more done, particularly in the later hours, to reach some of these juveniles?
Let me say this, and then the chief may have, I'm sure will have his own perspective. That's why I said it is a partnership. It is a partnership between the police department, the county, and our community members. The government cannot do it alone, right? So the government cannot be everywhere at every time. And so there are so many community members that partner with us on a day-to-day basis, whether it's calling to give us a tip or saying, we see something that sees unusual. And so we're asking the people in our community to continue to do that, continue to look out for the young person that lives next door to you, and maybe talk to his or her parents about what you're seeing. But we cannot do it alone. I cannot emphasize that enough. And so we need our community, our parents, our grandparents, our neighbors to all take this on with us together. Because as the chief said, it is a smaller group of young people that are really causing problems in our community.
And just a quick add about there's no one singular solution. That it does not exist, and there's nothing too small that we can't do, and we can do it together. We have non-governmental organizations. We have many resources. We have many people addressing this issue that exists, and our biggest thing that we have to do is collaborate and not have a belief that we have the singular solution to that problem, and that's what we're working on now.